Had a date with an older woman. It was incredible. I've been single for a little over a year. Hard to date when you're living with your mom. Ran out of people on Tinder without extending my range or changing the age range. Downloaded Hinge and actually put effort into my profile. Good pictures and thoughtful responses to questions. My first like was from a woman 16 years older than me. She said I looked like a lot of fun and I messaged back saying likewise. What are you looking for? She told me she was separated and missed having a man in her life and wanted to have some fun. We talked and agreed to meet for drinks and maybe more on Friday. It's been a while since I've been laid. We met at a bar and had a drink. She paid for mine, which I felt bad about. She's a poor teacher, I'm a poor college student. She talked about her interests, her friends, fun stories from her school. She asked me engaging questions about myself and listened intently if I was nerding out or responding to her question. I asked her if she wanted to get out of here, and she asked what I had in mind. I suggested going back to her place. Her place was right around the corner. I parked and brought some stuff inside. We smoked a bowl together and started talking about deeper things. She was deeply unsatisfied in her marriage and didn't get the physical touch she needed. I got left by my fiancé of 9 years and learned I have bipolar disorder late in my 20s. We revealed our vulnerabilities to each other and learned about one another. We made out on the couch. Her lips were so soft. We fooled around and gradually went upstairs. She went to the restroom to freshen up. When she came back, she was a little paranoid from the weed. She hadn't smoked in years. I just realized that I just met you, and I have no way of vetting who you are. She seemed like she just needed to calm down a little, so I encouraged her to ask me questions to ease her doubts and talk her down from her paranoia. After 15 minutes of talking, she takes control, and we start kissing again. Then she tells me to get on top, and I ask her what she wants me to do. She said she wanted me to fuck slow. We fucked for hours. Occasionally I needed a break and got some water, but then we cuddled. Her touch would get me going again and would be back at it. I played music that I thought she'd like, and she was really into it. When we weren't talking, she was kissing me passionately. Around midnight, I came for the first time and figured we'd be wrapping up and I'd be heading home soon. But she gave me a very convincing don't go. I've never had someone say this to me, and I melted back into her. We went at it like rabbits until 2 a.m., spent a short 6 hours of sleep, and went back at it again in the morning. I came 4 times in total, which breaks every record I've had. We talked for a while in the morning, but I had somewhere to be by noon, so we parted ways. Both of us haven't been able to get the other one out of our head. I don't know where this will go, but Jesus, if I can have more nights like that one, I'll take it. My boyfriend's best friend just asked me for sex. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 6 months, and am very close to his friends. They are his cousins, friends, and business partners. And I live right next to them, so we're very close. We all always hang out together, and are generally together most of the day. I've never really been interested in anyone in my boyfriend's circle except for him, and I've made it abundantly clear. And as I'm a year or 2 younger than most of them, they treat me like their own, giving me advice, taking care of my problems, helping me out with work, feeding into my jokes, etc. All of them, they are genuinely the nicest people I have met. Now the best friend I mentioned is one of the closest people on earth to my boyfriend. Even more closer than I will ever be, because their family, they started their business together, they have been through thick and thin together. And I understand that. His best friend just broke up with his girlfriend of over 1 year, and when he came to hang, he mentioned that. He said he came to ask me about something, and wanted to know if I wanted to sleep with him, and that he will take care of everything. I said no, and that I'm good. He was like, okay, I just thought I'd ask. I was like, you know, I'm good. And the topic shifted back to work like nothing happened. Now if I should tell my boyfriend about this because 1. He's his best friend. 2. He's also his business partner. 3. He's the one person he trusts the most. I don't want to hide it from him, but I also don't want to cause a shift between them because of this, because they have grown the business from nothing, and I would never want to do anything to hurt my boyfriend mentally, emotionally, or financially. Please guide me on what I should do, because I want to tell him, but I also don't want him to be subconsciously wary of his best friend, because we all do hang out together a lot. Update. Thank you everyone for the advice. I just talked to my boyfriend. He told me that it's natural for any guy to be interested in me because of my personality. He told me to have an honest conversation with his best friend about what I feel, and if I'm too uncomfortable then he'll have a conversation instead. But I said I'll have a conversation myself, because I don't want to use the sorry, I have a boyfriend card when I can directly tell him I'm not interested. But thank you for the advice, it did help. Update PT2. I've read all your comments saying my boyfriend's reaction is not it and weird, and I agree. He was too nonchalant about it. Like I told him somebody spilled water on the floor, and that makes it very suspicious for me. I will have a conversation with him about this. However, after our conversation, I tried to talk to the best friend, but somehow I was still uncomfortable even though it was on text. The second time we were with everyone, so I couldn't bring it up. Then when we were alone in the room, I got too uncomfortable and left because I couldn't do it. A lot of you are saying my boyfriend should have the conversation instead of me. But I don't want to use the boyfriend shield when I can straight up tell the guy I'm not interested. I just need to find a way to not be uncomfortable, and then say it maybe. Does anyone know how to have these kind of conversations? As for my boyfriend, I will have a serious conversation with him about this. Because last night when I told him I couldn't do the conversation with his best friend, he seemed least interested in the conversation, and at one point even said that he wasn't interested in what talk I have with him. If he's trusting, or just doesn't care at all. Update 3. I've been reading all the comments and most of you are saying it might have been a test, or they're okay with sharing, or that my boyfriend doesn't care. And honestly, I'm too weirded out to ask either of them, and I don't want to hear the answer because one of these might actually be the answer. Thank you all for the heads up. I've been reevaluating our relationship and where I stand after our conversation yesterday, and might have a conversation with my boyfriend about it after I figure out the whole dynamic of the relationship and where I stand in my own head. Thank you so much for the advice and guidance. How fucked am I? Growing up, I never had much of a dating life at all. I prioritized my goals in life, in which destroyed any aspect in dating, let alone talking to women, and never having sex throughout my 20s, virgin. Now that I'm in a comfortable position in life, trying to date is the hardest thing I ever had to do. I went on one date with someone where things were going pretty good, until the question came up with how many relationships I've had in the past. When I mentioned 0, I was told that's a red flag. Rinse and repeat with the other dates, and I was either called a liar or simply a red flag. So because I have no experience in the past, am I doomed to be single forever? I got all my priorities in check. Homeowner, comfortable financially, my own car, etc., but it seems like none of that is good enough unless you had some kind of experience with relationships in the past. What the hell am I supposed to do? Edit. Wow. This blew up unexpectedly. I wrote this out of anger and frustration, but a lot of what you guys have mentioned I'll be taking under extreme consideration. Thank you to everyone for helping and giving me the best advice I can get. Hopefully one day I can come back with better news. Edit 2. This thread is still blowing up. I'm having a lot of enjoyable conversations with people in my PMs with a lot of helpful advice. Not sure if this is going to help much, but I do live in Texas near the greater Houston area. People keep asking. Edit 3. Holy moly guacamole, guys and gals. Thank you for all the support and advice. Never smiled as much as reading everything you guys have said. This gives me so much confidence, it's unbelievable. You guys and gals are the best. Being attractive is everything. Ignore what other people say. I've spent the past couple of years doing everything I can to up my attractiveness, and it's been like night and day. I went from being almost invisible to having women check me out and hit on me in public constantly. Obviously, being a well-rounded person helps, but if you can't even get your foot in the door, then it's all for naught. If you need proof of my success, I can show you my Hinge account. Within 48 hours of joining, I got over 200 matches, and that's after being very selective with the women I send likes out to. But let me be clear, you don't have to be the most attractive guy out there. You just need to be relatively attractive. This is important to keep in mind because a lot of guys will compare themselves to other very attractive men and think they don't stand a chance. But you just need to be somewhat above average. The rest can be carried through your personality, your career. As much as women say they don't care, they do care, or other things. I've literally watched my female friends swipe on men in front of me, and they are willing to give guys a chance if they look put together because the vast majority of guys look like slobs. Anyway, with that out of the way, here is how you can become more attractive. Lose weight. If you're overweight, then the number one thing you can do, not just for looks, but for health too, is lose weight. Fashion, by and large, is aimed towards skinny/fit people, so just by being skinny the vast majority of clothes will look good on you. But not only that, having a slim/thinner face will almost always look better, unless you're a rare case like Jonah Hill. There's nothing inherently wrong with being bigger, besides health issues, but if you want to look your best, then you need to lose weight. Being muscular also helps, but it's not a must. Most women actually prefer slimmer bodies that have some fat over excessively muscular builds. Get a haircut that fits your face/aesthetic. A bad haircut can make you ugly, a good haircut can make you handsome. If you don't believe me, just go on TikTok/YouTube/Instagram and search up men's haircut transformation. Our hair and beards is basically our form of makeup. Invest some money into an actual stylist instead of going to a cheap haircut place, and it'll change your life. Wear trendy clothes/styles. If you don't want to chase every new trend, then just get a capsule wardrobe that fits well. I personally just wear a black tee tucked into slacks, with a belt, of course, and just accessorize with jewelry, and women constantly tell me how good my style is. It's so basic, but you'd be surprised by how many guys out there just don't know how to dress. The biggest tip I can give you is to just look up trendy/stylish outfits on social media and copy them. Also, look into the rule of thirds. Your top should be 1/3 of the length of your outfit, while your pants plus shoes are 2/3 of the length. This will also make you look taller than you are. You don't need to break the bank on this either. I buy cheap clothes from AliExpress and other fast fashion places all the time. I just wear it well, and I get non-stop compliments. Fix your posture. This one is simple, just stand up straight. Most of y'all are always slouching cause you guys sit at a computer all day or are always on your phones. Stand up straight, with your chest slightly out and head pushed back, so your ears align with your shoulders. Also, I know it's a meme, but mewing actually does make your face look skinnier since you won't have that weird double chin going on. Work on a skincare routine. Once again, this doesn't need to be complex. Just get a cleanser, exfoliant, and moisturizer, and you're good to go. If you have acne, work on tackling that ASAP. Cut out sugars, dairy, etc. whatever you need to do to reduce any skin issues. Get a nice cologne/fragrance. This one isn't necessary, but it just feels nice when you smell good. Don't overdo it. Just get one that works with your body and spray it a couple of times. Don't go overboard like a lot of guys tend to do. It's really that simple. My assumption is that most guys either think that these things are too free to do, or they claim they don't have the time/money to invest into these things. But if you can't even take care of your appearance, then should you really be out there dating? These things cost less than the beers you buy weekly, or all the new video game releases you spend money on, so I don't think many of you have an excuse to not take care of your appearance. I'll give $1 million to anyone who can show me a guy who decently look better after doing all these things. But the biggest benefit you gain from looking good is, well, you start to feel good. I legit thought I was an introvert for such a large part of my life, but I was just really insecure. Not saying that everyone who's an introvert is insecure, or that looking good will automatically make you more extroverted. But I'm willing to bet there's at least a handful of guys who don't put themselves out there because they don't feel good about their appearance. All I know is that it's been a game changer for me. I can go out and know that a large chunk of very attractive women will be interested in me, and I can also just hop onto any dating app and have a date lined up within a couple of hours. The only downside to all this is that you see how the world treats people differently based on looks. But that's just a given, and is something women have known all their lives. You can complain about it as much as you want, but it's not gonna change the fact that you get treated better and have more opportunities if you're attractive. Hell, women are even willing to give attractive guys a chance even if they're deadbeats just because they're attractive. I mean, if that isn't enough proof right there, then IDK what is? If this is dating, you could effing have it. Okay, I'm 44 male. I've been off the scene for close to 5 years. I worked on myself, and the work paid off. Am very comfy with life, as is for me now. But of course, I'd like to welcome someone into my life. I got on FB dating, and had some success. Matched with some girls, sent messages, and even exchanged phone numbers with some. I finally worked up the courage to ask a girl out. We agree for me to pick her up, but she changes her mind. I'd rather meet at the place. Awesome. No problem. She's being cautious. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, I like the idea better. We agree to meet at 7:30. I arrive at the place. I get a text. Am running late. Okay, what time you thinking? 7:45. I wait 15 minutes. Another text. Let's meet at 8:30 instead. I almost canceled then, but I literally live within walking distance. Okay, fine. I go back at 8:30. She's there. Great. We meet. I was catfished. Not horribly, but I definitely felt deceived. Okay, whatever. ITLL still be a good meal. Maybe good convo. Am not going to go into details, but here's the gist. She's in the middle of a divorce. She's living with her ex. She has 4 kids. She has no job. No prospects. She just moved in her nephew that has a meth problem they're trying to help him with. All the while she's telling me how handsome I am and how good I smell, and kept trying to hold my hand or make physical contact in some way. We finish our meal, and I say I have work and better get going. It was 10:30. She tries to invite me to her place. Nope, not even close to going to happen. I read the news. She tries to invite herself to my house. Nope. I open her car door for her. She steps in, kinda facetiously pouting. I get in my car and drive away. On my way home, I see her car behind me. Okay, her place must be on the way to mine. I take a turn, she turns. That's weird. I take another turn. She turns. Nope. I start heading to a store near my house and pull in. She fucking follows me to the store. Pulls up next to me. Hey stranger. She says. I. Anyways, I say I needed some shaving cream. Am not good on the spot like that. I tell her to get home safe. She leaves. Thank GWD. Today, am working. I at fucking work. And I've already received 24 texts and 9 phone calls. GF and I said the thing. So here's some backstory. I, 24M, met someone, 32F, going on 6 months ago. We met at a bar quite organically. I saw her, she saw me, and we just hit it off. I only planned on stopping in for a quick drink and to chat with my friend who works there, but ended up staying there till the bar closed, hanging out with her. We exchanged info, said we had a great time, and that we should see each other again. The next day we were texting, and she called me on my lunch break. We just seemed to be really into each other. I asked her out to grab a bite and a drink that night, to which she said yes. The night goes well, to which she asked me if I wanted to join her back at her place, and I gladly did. This went on for about a month. It was about this time that I asked her to be my girlfriend. She told me she really liked me, but didn't know if we could date long term. She opened up and told me that she had only about 6 months prior gotten out of a 5-year relationship, and that things were different. Details I don't feel the need to disclose out of respect for her. She did also tell me she felt a little strange about our age gap, and also that I work a lot, and she didn't know how she felt about that. I respected that, and told her I was okay with proceeding as we had been. She was happy with that. Fast forward through a couple more months of situationship, we are still doing the same things of dating, but not being official. Also feel I should disclose that while we weren't official, we also weren't seeing other people. We're out at a bar, and she looks at me with her big eyes and says, "Are you my boyfriend?" And I kind of laughed and said, "Well, I think that's your call." We both laughed about it, and she gave me a hug and a kiss and said she would like that. I was thrilled, as I'd been absolutely smitten by this woman. Fast forward another couple months, we've done so much together already: concerts, shows, parties, pumpkin patches, road trips, sick days, you name it. And we're just driving around town going shopping and eating, talking, and she stares at me, and I look at her and I'm like, "Yes." And she kind of takes a deep breath and says, "I love you, and you make me happy." And a few other sweet things. I had been thinking that I loved her for a couple weeks at that point, but didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable given how she felt at the start of us dating. My heart skipped a beat, and I put my hand around the back of her head and told her I loved her too, and that I count myself blessed that we met. We are now planning us meeting each other's families for the holidays, LOL. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just wanted to share this as I've been very much enjoying getting to share life with this woman. TL. DR met a woman at the bar, turned into a situationship, that turned into a relationship, and now we've told each other we love each other. Thank you for watching these powerful stories. It's always incredible how each one of them touches us in a different way. Many of you seem to be deeply moved by the heartbreaking story of the unexpected family tragedy. So many emotions in one moment. Which one stood out the most to you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback is everything.